Hello everyone, Solomon here. It's March 22nd, Wednesday, 2024, and I just finished watching Everything Everywhere All at Once. And that was an Academy Award-winning film in 2022 with the kid from Indiana Jones, the Chinese kid. Quan and Michelle Ewan, whatever it is. Even I'm bad with Chinese names. The thing is, I watched it and it was Cantonese, so I'm actually Cantonese, and it hit home simply because we're all fresh off the boat, or our parents were. And it's like you can be somebody, you can overcome adversity, and you can be on TV, you can be in the movies, just like the rest of Hollywood. Especially for Chinese in America. It's very super difficult. Not only do you have to have money, you also have to have the network, relationships with the director and the producers and stuff, and all these things are multi-million-dollar, faceted industry. So it gets pretty rough. There's a lot of bullshit artists and people you probably don't want to deal with unless you're good at socializing, unless you're very good at communication and bullshit and just getting things done in between here and there. So it's extraordinarily difficult, and people are fucking lazy, and they don't know how to get things done unless you talk to the right people. Half of the people, how would you present yourself? How would you go about it unless you're a professional? You get actors and actresses and a producer and a director, and you have to make this shit happen. Video editing and sound and music and lights, all that shit. And it's just like, man, we are some real lay people here. We're like 10, 20, 50 years behind. Damn. Welcome to the king of mediocrity over here, Solomon Chau. Do I see myself being in the movies or on TV? Not in a chance. I have to be networking with people. They have to see my laundry list of experience and whatnot. And they had that guy from Glee, Harry Shum, who's also starred in as Solomon Chau in the movie All My Life. The guy that dies from cancer right after he gets married. It's like his death wish to get married before he fucking dies. And here I'm at the age of 39, still not married, still trying to decide what to do with my life. So the original Solomon Chau got married at 26, to Carter, or whatever, blah blah blah. Jeez, I don't even remember her name. This is amazing to me. I would not have gone down that path of getting married. I would have just fucking died. Miraculously, I'm not dead yet. I don't know how. I live in New Jersey. The rate of cancer is very high here. Accidents, I work at the hospital all the fucking time. Car crashes, drunks, random acts of violence. He said, she said shit. And it's just very rampant, very savage, racial attacks, random traumas, just everyone's getting fucked up. Mexicans getting hit by, just using their scooter or their bikes, trying to get in back and forth from work, because that's all they do, regardless, is because that is the way, I mean, it's just fucking savage. But yeah, the Cantonese can do it, despite being the, like this Mexican kind of like vibe going on, like, you're immigrants, like, fuck these people, they're not gonna be on TV. And here we are, here we are. So good job. Yeah, it's just such a different world. Chinese and Americans is very, very different. And that's exactly what it's like being Chinese in the movie. The mom is super draconian, especially with the daughter. Pushed her so hard that the daughter fractured her mind and, bent the space-time reality and her different multiverse, personalities and stuff. And a lot of the movie was kind of like, what the fuck is happening? But it's basically like The Matrix and the one with Jet Li, where he kills himself, and every time he fucking kills himself, he downsizes, and whoever's left of him becomes stronger. In this version of the movie, you just acquire the skills of the other personality, and I guess they derived it from the ancient textbook, The Law of One, with Ra. And it's like we're all the same people in different space and time. And the Chinese lady, Michelle Yun or whatever, hacked the code and just started manipulating and trying to level herself up with her different multiverse personalities, and trying to use it in her own universe, and to become like the one, whether you're super strong or intelligent or smart or highly skilled in whatever craft, which is what I've been basically trying to do my whole life. Just trying to level up as a person, as a regular lay person. Not much different than everyone else. You're just poor, you're trying to make money, you're trying to look good or whatever, trying to get girls. Not much different from anyone else's existence in human history. I mean, especially if you're a guy, make money and get girls. It's not very much more complicated than that. Some guys are intelligent and write their own books and stuff about science and math and important stuff and medicine or whatever. Me, I'm taking my sweet ass time here just vlogging about it. I don't have anything necessarily all that important because I'm just not up there. I'm just like the world of mediocrity. I can't really produce anything. Even if I was trained and taught, or mentored, it'd still be someone else's information that I'm just regurgitating. It's not something that I came up or derived or conceptualized by myself. I would just be a copycat of someone, which is not. If that's who I'm gonna become, I would rather not, start something I can't finish. Like, what the fuck? I'm not Einstein, shit. Even if you train me, I'd still be pretty fucking dumb. That's just not my thing. A bunch of kids just solve problems, whatever, from Kumon math, and that's about it. Did they invent these problems and like tests? Probably not. We're just, the lay people, the kids, just taking these tests and just regurgitating the answers or whatever from the Q&A sheets, and it's just like, shit, who's coming up with these, books and exam scores? Is some kind of Illuminati shit, McGraw-Hill. It's some kind of industrial, educational industrial complex shit. I don't want to get involved with. It's just there's PhDs and professors, and their income's relying on this shit. They have to print new editions every year, get kids to fucking buy it, and just generate income before they complain about being homeless and not being able to afford their homes in Beverly Hills or whatever. So furthermore about the movie, I just watched the movie. It's just it's a really complex movie with very in-depth things about existentialism. Does this shit even matter? The mom keeps going hard on the daughter. That's what Chinese mothers do. They're very hard on their kids. They call them fat. call them dumb or whatever. They always want the kids having a, 1600 perfect scores on the 1600s. All the while like being an Olympic swimmer or tennis player or whatever the fuck in a China man's body, a China woman or whatever. And you know what? You're the scrawniest of races. There's no way in hell you can compete with Tyrone or Chad, for that matter. And just like shit, just everything's against you. Just all you have is grit and with skill. All you really have. Well, the only advantage you have is just being able to do the same shit over and over again until you get really good at it. Damn. I mean, muscle mass, just is not up there with strength. But intelligence-wise, IQ levels in Asian countries are, slightly higher than anywhere else in the world, statistically speaking. For everything else, can easily be thrown under the bus. So anyways, that's what I have to work with here, being Asian, so. So, yep, welcome to my Asian life. Shit. This is one lady that I just encountered. She was so smart. She was from China that she went to the U.S. and did work on anti-gravity. But lo and behold, as fortune entails, she got hit by a car randomly and, was hiding from the public. And, they don't want that shit coming out, because if anti-gravity did come out, technology did come out, then it would put the automobile industry, it collapse the automobile industry, it'll collapse, the transportation services, everything, cranes and airplanes, will just go under. Boeing and, Lockheed Martin, and, all these big aerospace engineering companies out of business, overnight, because you got a new technology to play with. You don't require oil anymore or gas. Everything just operates on this anti-gravity technology, and basically the S&P 500 is the whole system's just fucked up now, because you have a new competitor. You have someone with a superior product, and that means superior amounts of competition. People are going to try to fucking kill you, and that's just how it is. Same if you had the cure for cancer, all the pharmaceutical companies are just going to fucking try to kill you and throw you under the bus, because now their drugs are just cannot compete. They just cannot compete with something that provides actual treatment. Once you cure something, then that means that, lo and behold, you don't have to buy their shitty products anymore for just bare bones treatment. That's why they had to kill off Jesus, because if he had the cure for everything and shit, companies, snake oil salesmen would not be needed anymore. That's the bottom line. So you have grifters. Who remains on this earth? Grifters, scam artists, criminals, and all the bad people, which I don't even have to explain. You probably see it on the news. And so Jesus is like, I am the truth, I am the way. No one sees my Father unless it's through me. And here I am, just dilly-dallying. It's Wednesday. I'm filming. I'm taking a walk in the park. I'm doing a lot for myself. This is the best life I'm living. In the daylight, all strip clubs are not open. So I really don't have anywhere else I really want to go to. People here are just playing pickleball. You know, people say they want to retire and all this stuff, practice the fire movement, but what do they really have to be doing when everyone else is just at work or pretending to be at work or grifting other scamming people for money and whatever? And that's what people really do. Pickleball. That's what people do. They play pickleball during the day. They do things that are not related to work whatsoever. That's exactly what burnout is about. Doing things that has nothing to do with work. And it's never a balance. Either the person is like overworking themselves to death and on the verge of suicide, or they're not working at all. They're at home on the couch collecting welfare, food stamps, child support, alimony, child tax credits, all the above. And that's it, So, you have to pick your poison, because if you're not overworked, if you're not, workaholic guy, then you're barely making bare bones minimum, kind of money. It's just like, what's the point if I'm just like sustaining myself? There's no real thrill of it. So you might as well just, be on the couch. So, it just so happens that you have to be pushing yourself, to the point of, burnout, because it otherwise isn't going to be worth it. The numbers just won't be worth it. But and some people do that. A lot of people probably think like that. The balanced way is probably the slowest way to make money, but you'll keep your health and your life and your longevity. Some people don't see it that way. They'd rather be all in or just suicide. It's kind of sad, but it's a kamikaze mission almost. Here we have the stream of life. I'm surprised I didn't play video games yesterday. And Marcus Aurelius, Meditations, Ancient Roman Emperor, says, if you want a life of tranquility, do less. Your life does not have to be super complicated and fancy looking and trying to, get people to think you're smart or whatever. It can be a simple life. And like in the movie, everything at the same time, all at once. Everything, everywhere at once, or whatever. Just like what everyone says. After school, after you graduate, all you do is work. You pay taxes, and excluding the dying part, but it's just, you just work and pay taxes. That's what they're doing. The laundromat thing. Michelle, you could have had this great life of stardom and being in Hollywood, which she already is, which is already crazy, but in it unto itself as a Cantonese person, which is extraordinarily difficult, as I've stated before. She already had that going for her. Anyways, at the end of the movie, so if you don't want me to spoil the movie, the family just goes back into their reality and they just get their taxes done and are relieved, and that's it. You just go back to work at the laundromat, and that's the best reality that they can concoct of. So instead of all these other realities where they could be famous, or they're martial artists, or whatever the fuck, or rich, and this and that, You know, the reality that they chose to, live in was just whatever they saw as the most normal. Just work at the laundromat, own and operate your own laundromat and do taxes. Finding stability. What was important to them and, the universe was finding a stability, like an atom. It always pops out electrons and, balance itself, protons and neutrons. It just wants stability. No matter how hard you just try to attract things, this and that, it always finds a way to balance itself. It always finds itself, just like money, whether you invest in all the dividend stocks or the growth stocks or bonds or whatever the fuck. The stock market has ups and downs and eventually just equalizes somehow. 8% APY a year, 10% APY a year. I mean, if it's fluctuating like crazy, like 80% a year, 50% a year, it's going to come crashing down sooner or later, just like cryptocurrency. Big highs and big lows. It's important that you understand these basic concepts because it applies to everything else, like the food intake. Food that makes you happy, temporarily happy, like McDonald's and Roy Rogers or whatever, Burger King. Your system, it's going to come crashing down at some point. High glucose levels, the carbs and the bread and the french fries and shit and the seed oils, sunflower seed oils and the Happy Meal. But then you just feel gross and sickly afterwards. Not imminently, but if you just keep eating it, your dopamine levels just level off. And so, you try to seek comfort. You try to find this life that is, forever your comfort zone. But that's not how it works. Hopefully you find out, you learn this sooner than later. That's not how it works. You need to seek out things that are difficult, that are challenging, that are going to put you battle tested. If you don't, then you'll never grow as a person, and you'll just stagnate, and you'll just feel, I guess, like a robot. Even depression may even settle in. I mean, is it fair? It's like no. I mean, you have to be failing. You have to seek out the hard things so you can fail. There's a possibility of failure. That is essential to life. High risk, high reward, or like no risk and no reward. That is a choice that you make. I mean, no risk. I'll show you a place with no risk. It's called a nursing home. People just get old and diabetes and get very sickly and bedridden. And you get bones. You get brittle bones from not moving, from not, stomping your feet, from walking. You're not growing. You're not using your muscles. You're not using your bones. You're not putting pressure on it. When you stop eating, when you stop chewing, your teeth get all fucked up and deformed and shit because you're not using them. Especially, if you don't have a dentist. Just, that's how it is. You're supposed to be putting pressure on things and using things. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. And that's how it is. That's just how it is. It's like King of the Hill. You just have to keep battling for for survival. It's just savage. It's just life, To be a parent is to see is potential that your child may die before you, or you, or you yourself die, to sacrifice yourself for your child, or, it's scary. It's scary. When that happens to you, it's fucking scary. Or even when you get married, you get divorced, and you may lose all your shit. Quite literally, and that's scary. I mean, do you learn and you grow as a person? Probably, yes. Yeah, you're guaranteed to grow, to handle difficult things. But Is that what you really wanted? Probably not. But you learn how to overcome adversity and move on. Is there a universe where people get along and are happily married? Maybe, but it's probably not around here. I can tell you that much. But I hope it does work out for you or anyone, or even myself for that matter. But I can already tell you right now, people are fucked up, and it's not nice. It's just not what it used to be. Now it's all about monetizing everything, grifting everyone, scamming everyone, suing everyone. All this petty little shit for money. And that isn't quite the message. In fact, that's the message for fucking failure. And people just don't learn. Or they learn, just to run away from your problems. Just keep running away. I don't know. That could lead to extinction. I don't know. Women keep running. You could end up homeless or whatever. That could happen too. If the guy keeps running, he'll just get old and wind up in a nursing home with random ass people taking care of him. That can happen too. So I don't know. It's difficult. It's very difficult. Either way you're fucked. So it's just you work, you pay taxes, and you die or whatever. It's like either way, I don't know. Everyone would like marriage to work out, but it's too much. It's too much. Shit. One of the old ladies at work was like, "He doesn't respect me. Why do I want someone who treats me like garbage? Because he's cheating on me with his mistress." And I'm looking at her like, does someone really want you? Apparently someone wanted her at some point. I'm just like, the fuck? And she's like, taking it all so seriously. I mean, what's wrong with the guy having several different mistresses? That's a reflection of her, that she's just another whore to him. And she was so offended by it. I'm just like, you need to chill. But of course she didn't chill and just kept going on with like how he treats her like garbage. And I'm just like, damn. I don't know what to tell her. It's not her fault that she's not, eternally super attractive. You're just unlovable. What? I mean, it's difficult being an ugly, fugly, fucking old person. And trying to get guys to like you or someone to like you. It's just, this is a very superficial world. I mean, damn. So I'm about 30 minutes into this thing. Here's the pond. This is my reality. I chose not to give a fuck. I have my job. I have my sanity. And I just have my little thing going on. To work and pay taxes. That's what most people do. I'm pretty sure if I went off on a tangent and tried to do some crazy stuff like being my own entrepreneur or being a YouTuber, it probably wouldn't work out very well. And I probably wouldn't have much content. Probably wouldn't have much original ideas. Nothing groundbreaking. Nothing like a new iPhone or an iWatch or some Area 51 anti-gravity spacecraft or some shit. I'm just too fucking dumb. I mean, we're just lay people. If you're that good, you'd be working, for well over 6 figures. Millions even. Which I've seen, people in this area actually obtain millions of dollars. I'm talking about well over at least $10 million. Aerospace engineering and you know, military science and all this stuff. You know, why am I not in that boat, the same boat? I don't know. I never had this great affinity for physics or engineering and any of that shit. I never sought out hard things. This is too fucking hard for me. Calculus 1, 2, 3, and 4. You know, get through that first. And maybe you can talk to the, you know, higher ups or something. I asked someone, another Cantonese family friend, their kid, he's 30, he's a physics professor. I'm like, what do you do with that physics and shit? He's like, they study black holes. Black holes? What the fuck? What the fuck is that gonna do for me? Shit, yeah, there's a black hole sucking up all my money. It's called the taxes. It's called the IRS. Like, I just seek something more practical. So, can I do that for everyone? You know, can I invent something practical, like a teleportation machine, a flying machine or something, a jetpack? Probably not. Probably not. It would just take too much ingenuity, too much shit work. And even after the shit work's done, I would have to get the patents and stuff. More shit work. And someone's gonna try to sue me. More shit work. You know what? Fuck that shit. Absolutely fuck it. Again, like everything and everything all at once, the family just goes back to paying taxes and working at the laundromat because it's just not worth it, you know, being anyone else. This is too much shit. So I'm just gonna go about my day and walk and just go back to my job. Again, the best reality, the best timeline for anyone is just to go back to your job, you know, be a layperson, work, and pay taxes. And even if you did all this kung fu sorcery shit, got famous and rich, you know, you don't want anyone after you. You don't want to be dealing with like all this difficult nonsense and bull crap and, you know, people after you mostly. You don't want to deal with that shit. So, with that said, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Stay safe out there.